Hitting record. It is recording right now. I've already tested.
All right.
Jesus. I'm gun shy, trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right, you ready?
Yep.
The views and opinions expressed by John and DJ do not reflect those of any intelligent or rational human being and are solely the property of the Brightside Chat.
This show is a proud member of the Nerdy Legion Podcast Network. Get more at nerdylegion.com. Enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome back to the Bright Side and issue number 175 titled, Can You Hear Me Now, John? Can you hear me now?
I can.
You can hear me. All right. You can hear me. I can hear you.
But to be fair, I could hear you last week, too.
I was just going to say, I'm like,
anything.
but can anybody else hear either of us? Is this being recorded? We don't know. We've only been doing this for almost 4 years. What the heck? You know, flying by the seat of our pants. Oh, sorry about that. We'll get into a little bit of that. We've got a bunch of news today, a couple of books. How's your real world looking this week?
It's modest.
Modest. Okay, that's large for everybody else out there.
Yeah. No,
modest for John.
Yeah. It's not like nothing, but it's not super long.
Oh, okay. So only half a dozen to a dozen? Baker's dozen, something?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into the store and we'll get into all the fun stuff because I just want to get inside. I can't wait to hear that chime and maybe everybody else can hear it too because I don't think we even had that chime last week.
I don't think we did.
Let's get into the store. And there it is.
Yep.
Pretty sure it's being recorded. What a mess.
Should we stop and check and start back up again?
I've already done that. I did that on my own. I recorded this week for the video that I do, the home theater tours that I do with Ara, and I was like sick to my stomach to all the way to the next day because I didn't have time to actually download everybody's track and put it in, and I'm like, oh no, what if it didn't work? And I don't know. I was just sick.
Well, I have faith in you, DJ. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. Last week, the look on your face when I said I wasn't recording. 25 minutes into the show and you went, oh. And and then you don't know what happened later. We went out, Jen and I went out to dinner, right?
I know that.
You knew that, but then I was like, I'd lost everything. I lost my half of it, right? We knew that right away. I put your track in.
You told me that. Right.
And all I could hear was you. So then we go out to dinner, and I'm thinking, well, we got nothing, but I asked you, I'm like, or I said to you, I'm just going to put out an apology. Say to everybody, sorry about that. But then while we were sitting there, I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? It'd be kind of funny if I just went and I re-listened to you over and record myself again. And that's basically what I did. But even that screwed up because it was supposed to record onto different tracks, and that's why it sounded like crap, like you were so loud and I was so low. I was supposed to get a different track and be able to adjust it, and we wouldn't talk over each other. But it's still the app I use, OBS, I record in, it recorded it all on one solid track, and I was like, I spent to record that. I spent over an hour trying to figure out the best way to set it up and do it. So I redid that whole thing, and even that screwed up. I go, that's it. That's what's going out. That's going out. And it's just like, well, I'll just laugh at it, but
yeah, it was something.
Yes, it really was. I know you texted me that. It was like 2 days later. You're like, I just listened to us.
Well, no, it was Thursday. I was listening to it because I don't listen till Thursdays. But yeah, I was like, well, yep, it's something.
Yep. You were all there. Everything you said.
Yep.
Did you listen to the whole thing or did you just stop?
No, I listened to the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
I generally listen to the whole show. There's very few times where I don't finish it.
Very rarely do I make you that angry.
No.
Oh, all right. So hopefully this week is going smooth. We won't know until it's all over anyways.
Yeah,
it's
like, I guess when we're done, you'll let me know.
It's like you get gun shy. You're afraid. Like, I'm like, is this really working? I don't know. But how's it going in the store this week? I know you were busy today. You didn't get out early or anything. So things going well? You got all your books?
Well, yeah, it wasn't necessarily because I was busy. I didn't have coverage until the afternoon, but yeah, everything came in today. I actually worked right up until I left. So, I mean, it took me all day to get everything finished because everything was here and there was pretty substantial orders this week. There's a lot of books coming out. Nice. And then I had like 3 other vendors drop deliveries today too. So, I mean, I was checking stuff in all day. But sales-wise, the stores, again, had a pretty good weekend. I took Saturday off, and I had another great Saturday. So it's like every time I take the weekend off, I have really good Saturdays. So I think that's the key, is that I just shouldn't work Saturdays anymore. But
you should just not go back to the store.
I know, right?
Place will be booming.
Yeah, I took the day off. A friend of mine... they did a crawfish boil on Saturday, so
yeah, that looked delicious. You sent me those pictures.
That's not even. Well, the thing is, that's not even it because I ate crawfish all day, drank all day. He's got like a bourbon fetish now, and he's buying all these different bottles of bourbon. So he was like, try this and this and this and this and this. So I was drinking all day, and then Sunday comes, and I wanted to just relax, get my projector installed, watch movies, and my neighbor comes knocking on the door and says, hey, we're boiling crawfish. Do you want to come over and eat some crawfish? And I was like, thinking to myself, not really, but I'm also, don't want to be rude to my neighbor. So I was like, yeah, let me get these guys out of here. We may watch a movie and then we'll come over this afternoon. So then I went over Sunday afternoon and ate more crawfish, drank more beer. And yeah, so it was a lot of crawfish this weekend.
And crawfish aren't easy to eat.
They're not easy to eat. They're a lot of work. Well, it's just like crab and lobster. It's like any kind of shellfish.
But they're so
it's a lot of work for little payoff,
Yeah.
And you have to eat, like, it looks like you've eaten a metric ton of crawfish and you really only had about a hamburger's worth of meat. But you've got like carcasses, piled up like higher than my head, but the neighbor just really did pretty much crawfish. When my buddy does it, he's got the sausage, the potatoes, the corn, all that stuff in there too. And I eat more of that than I do the crawfish because the flavors that those things soak up are like the best. So, so welcome to the culinary podcast.
Yeah,
Brightside Cooking.
Brightside goes Cajun.
Yeah, but yeah. So like I said, I took Saturday off and had an awesome day. So
that is awesome.
It was like great.
Well, you've got that's the other thing. At times like that, I'm like hearing that. It's like I'm a little jealous because we don't have that weather up here. You don't, we can't do that yet. And we've got actually, to me, up here in New England, spring is like the ugliest season. It's the grossest. Right. Everything's muddy. Everything's just coming back to life from being dead all winter. It's nothing looks good, and
I don't want to rub it in, but it was beautiful.
I bet.
It was like it was like mid-70s. Mid-70s. The sun was out. There was a breeze. Sitting outside eating all day. It was pretty good. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, so nice. Yeah, I'd like to get there. Well, we will get there, of course. I do the lobster bake that we do every year by the fire and stuff. But hey, that's why it's nice up here. We get a change of seasons. It's not always beautiful.
You're right.
And
it's just, we get
like you.
Yeah, we get hot and then
not so hot.
Yeah.
Put on a sweater. It's 62.
Yeah.
Winter's here. Winter. All right.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Anything? Do we got anything else before we get to mailbag?
No, I think we did all the housekeeping.
All the housekeeping. So yep, we're still recording.
We talked about what I ate all weekend, what I drank all weekend.
Store's open, doing well without you there, and you're full of crushed fish and beer. All right, let's get to mailbag.
And bourbon.
And bourbon. All right, now we're in the mailbag here. Let me see. What's up first? Oh, crap. My picture's all changed. I got bit by a bug. There it is. First up.
Is that a euphemism, or did you really get bit by a
No,
bug?
I meant to show you. You can't miss it. It's on my neck. I have this swollen thing. It's like the size of a $50. And it.
I was like, I don't know what you're saying there.
No, I got bit. I got bit yesterday at work on my neck, stung by something. And I was like,
wow.
you got, and I took a picture of it. Just because it was like on the back of my neck. And I'm like, I showed Jen the swelling today. It's like this big thing on my neck. And she goes, what the hell bit you? I don't know. It was behind me, obviously. And I took a picture in case I died. So people would know
as long as it doesn't
this
start
is what
growing
it
hair
looked
and
like.
teeth, you're all set.
Yeah. Well, I got stung on my arm years and years ago at my parents' house. And it was like a day later, I was working outside. Everybody left for Maine. My whole family left for Maine. I was working in the driveway on somebody's car. And when I was done on the car, I had to take myself to the emergency room because everything got dizzy and my heart started to feel funny and my right arm looked like Popeye.
Yeah.
But I found that when you go to the emergency room and say your heart feels funny, you get through the head of the line. Yeah.
Yep. They get you right in. They don't mess around with that.
I was like, yeah, I drove
I said that once, and the next thing I know, I was strapped on a helicopter and flying downtown. So, yeah.
Oh, you had the fun trip. No, I just, yeah. So, yeah. And I called Jen up in Maine. I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm in the emergency room now. So, and they told me, they're like, you just got to beware. If you get stung again, you might be allergic. So every time I get stung, I'm like, all right, but I just get a little bit of swelling. So if I drop dead, that'll top last week's show.
Well, yeah. At least it'll be recorded, but it'll never get out because there'll be nobody to push the button. Yeah. There'll be nobody to hit send.
You don't tweet, so nobody would know.
Right,
anything.
I'll never know. Right, I'll never know.
A week
I'll be like, DJ, I haven't heard from DJ in 4 or 5 days. I wonder what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, you'll see me. I'll just fall down right now.
Yeah.
Don't. If you hear a I'm out. Donk.
Yeah.
I'm out. All right. First up, Martin at Geekfine. This episode is a textbook example of dedication or stupidity. That was I said that. He didn't say that.
That's the PS.
The PS. No, really what it was is you know, like anything else, you build your whatever we have here, but you build it over time. And when it all goes kaputs, you don't know how you built. You don't remember exactly how you build it. It's like, this isn't our profession, right? So it's like all these little, all these inputs and everything. You got to remap everything, and clearly
it's like a lasagna. There's like layers upon layers upon layers.
Right, and then at the end, when it all goes crap, you're like, I got to rebuild it.
Oh,
and
I don't remember what that bottom layer was.
Yeah, and I had to rebuild it in 10 minutes so we could record, and it was like, whoops, that didn't work. So,
more food talk.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's funny. The restaurant we go to, Becky, the owner, she tweeted out or Facebooked a picture. She dropped a lasagna today. That's supposed to be on the menu. She took a picture. It's all over the floor.
That's punishable by death where I come from.
Yeah, I know. Well, she's the owner of the store, so we said you're in good hands. The owners are really nice. Yeah. Martin Anderson says, Mystery Science Theater 3000 Brightside Chat Edition. I like it best when you actually talk to each other, but I listen to it all anyways. Thanks, Martin. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We like it better too when we talk to each other.
Yeah.
He
also the gumball machine, and you could be.
Yeah, I definitely look like the gumball machine. Yeah. He also says, if anything, this episode shows how dedicated you are to getting it out to us listeners. That's awesome. And we are. We've been trying for years. We try to be on time and everything like that. Sometimes things don't go well, but and then at Geekfine says him and Mike Myers at Mike Myers Brunch are talking about Spawn, and he tagged us. He says, "Damn you, Myers, you and I are going to cause Spawn books to skyrocket this year. Put that in your speculator corner, Brightside Chat. LOL." We don't do Speculator Corner anymore, but we just did.
Yeah,
right there. Right. We just added it in. So, hey.
Spawn books.
Spawn books. I got mine. you know, I'm a big Spawn fan. Listen,
You are, from way back.
from way back. We're talking December.
OG Spawn reader.
OG. No, but I did like listening to Martin and Nick talk about Spawn and all the different runs and stuff like that over on Nerdy Legion. I was like actually learning a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I get the gist of Spawn, and I've known Spawn for years, but not like listening to those guys, the history that they know about comics. It's insane. Like, just recollect. It's like talking to you, but listening to I mean, clearly we aren't that kind of show because that's two smart guys about comics. This is one smart guy and a guy trying to put the thing together on the other side that's screwing it all up. So we have our own form of entertainment.
We do.
But the stuff they're recalling, like, talking, I can't even recall what they recalled, but it's just amazing. Like the different,
I can't even recall what they recalled.
They were talking about how Spawn had the clock, and then they were saying,
in the very beginning he had
he was
countdown.
he was on a countdown. But then Nick was like out of the blue, he's like, oh yeah, and he goes, what was it? Venom had that, and blah blah blah, and I was like, what the heck? But they do that all the time. It's so great to listen to. It's like, I learned so much, and I'm jealous at times. Like, my head's so stupid. And one more, just to get John over the hump. My
buddy, get me to 4.
Actually, I think this is 5. So you were already there. Okay. So you were already trucking. But this came out today. My buddy Todd Anderson over at AV Nirvana, at AV Woofer, says, at Monoprice reveals 3 new compact passive monolith brand speaker options designed to mount directly to a wall. Each model carries THX certification. Read article here, and he tagged at Brightside_chat. I think he meant at Brightside HT, but
I think so.
But nonetheless, we just did a commercial.
Oh, we'll go ahead and talk about it on this show anyway.
Anyway, hey, we got tagged. I said we'd get tagged, and that's
right.
So in lieu of we didn't get a BJ Horton comment this week, so I went with the Todd Anderson, and he did tag us at AV Woofer. So I don't even think he knows he did that. I didn't even know he did it.
Probably
I just saw it and I retweeted. I was like, oh, this is cool. I actually do like those speakers. I think they're pretty cool. But I was like, and then I went, wait a minute, did I just retweet that from chat? Like, oh, he tagged the wrong one. Pretty funny that he asked me and he follows both though.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah. So, all right. That will do it for Mailbag this week. Let me see. Is that it? Yep. Yeah, that is it. Thank you, everybody. If you'd like to participate in Brightside Chat Mailbag, you can reach us at Brightside_chat or at Arkham Comics, but that's really only do that if I'm dead.
Right.
All right.
Well, I mean, I'll read it. Just don't expect a response.
Yeah. And if I'm dead, it's really never going to get heard.
Right.
So, all right. What do we got next here? Now we're up to breaking news, right?
We are.
All right. Where's the sound? There it is.
All right. So we're going to start off, unfortunately, with another sad RIP this week. Estelle Harris, who you may know as George's mother on Seinfeld, among many things. She was also Mrs. Potato Head in the Toy Story franchise. And again, she was 93, so she's worked for probably 60 or 70 years. So she's done a lot of things. But his, very, very funny on Seinfeld. Obviously 93, she had a long life, but it's always still sad to lose somebody that you kind of grew up watching. So.
Well, after Betty White, that's really young.
Yeah, true.
She
was a slacker, really.
Yeah, come on.
She could only get to 93, so.
I didn't know or didn't realize that she was Estelle Costanza. I always just knew her as his mom. I don't know.
I didn't realize that.
But her name, it was the same name until I saw the obits, and I was like, Estelle? Oh, Estelle, I didn't realize that. But yeah,
probably just to make it easy to remember, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, who does that?
Because she was in her 70s then, right? So.
Yeah. Oh, she might have been. That was a while
Late
ago.
60s,
She might have
probably.
been 60s.
Yeah, Seinfeld was,
60s.
what, 30 years ago? So 60s.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
60s?
I know.
Wow. Oh, yeah, 30 years ago. Crazy. I just think of the episode with the contest. George, what are you doing? George imitating her was so great.
Yeah.
So great. All right. Yeah, that's sad news. Sad news. Moving on.
Okay, moving on.
Next.
Next up, Obi-Wan has moved its premiere date from May 25th to May 27th. As a consolation, they will drop 2 episodes on the 27th. This may come as a surprise to you, but I have thoughts on this.
I do too.
Yeah, this actually really annoys me for a couple of reasons. The biggest reason is that, like, the whole thing surrounding May 25th and not May the 4th, which is when it really should have premiered, was the fact that they were dropping on the anniversary date of A New Hope. And so that was like, okay, that makes sense. Let's do that. But May 27th this makes no sense to me at all. Like,
None.
I know it's only 2 days, but it's like they're literally not doing 2 more days worth of work on this. Like, it is done.
You know what this
there's
feels
no
like?
reason not to put this out.
Do you know what this feels like? This feels like you and I.
Morbius?
No. It feel like, because it really feels like, all right. So you and McGregor, you're busy that day. All right, can you make it on Friday? Like, you're trying to. It's like they're trying to plan a party. You know, it's like, oh, not everybody we know can make it on Wednesday, so let's move it to Friday. That'll make it better. Okay, let's do that. Because like you said, this is almost 2 months away. Right. What does 2 more days get? Like, what?
Exactly. It's saying nothing. And,
you know,
like, it's not like it's live.
Or like,
right? It's going to be streamed anyways. You're just literally hitting the upload button.
I know. Like, what did they do?
And I'm honestly not happy to get 2 episodes.
No, I'm not either.
Because we're only getting 6. So it's like, I don't want to be a third done in the first week. You know what I mean?
I know.
It's like, I want to spread it out for 6 weeks.
Oh, I know. I agree with you. I mean, I know this is, you know, a little bit on the scary.
Well, it's definitely first world problems for sure. But
yeah, it definitely is.
It irritated me when I saw that.
But it doesn't.
Like I said, mostly because May the 4th was really the date we should have got this.
Right.
You know, it's a Wednesday, so it was perfect. You know, a perfect day, and yeah, it's just crazy.
It didn't make it. Like, it's like, what are there people rendering stuff for the show? And like, I need a couple more days. They know, like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't
work a little overtime, man. You literally got 7 weeks before May 25th. So
I don't understand. Do people know what I went through last week to put a show out? I mean, come on, people.
Exactly.
And it went out on time. It was junk.
If you could put that thing out, then they could put out Obi-Wan on the 25th.
2 months? So. You're giving me 2 months to put something out?
Right.
It'll be better than that, but yeah, all right.
This actually works a little bit better for me, given that, like I told you before the show, I'm just coming back from vacation, and it gives me a little time to not sleep through it. But it still irritates me.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, either way, it was going to be after that show anyways, whether it's Wednesday or it's, you know, that Friday. I don't know. But I did agree I did think the exact same thing when they said, "Oh, but we're giving you 2 episodes." Like, well, what the hell? Because like you said,
I don't really want that.
Yeah, I'd rather have the one. I want to make it last. You know, it's like you're only you're shorting me a week.
The thing is, like, give me one or give me all. Give me liberty or give me death, DJ. But it's like, give me it all at once or give me it one at a time, because, you know, I don't like the doubling up of things like that. So.
Well, like you said, it's like you just shorten off. You just cut off that last week of, you know, fun. You know, and it's still going to drop weekly, but now just less.
There's
weeks.
no real there's no opportunity to have that quote unquote water cooler talk between episodes 1 and 2, you know,
Right.
because nobody's going to not watch them both,
Right.
you know, like you could wait, like in theory, like you could wait and stretch it out for 6 weeks if you wanted to, but who are you going to be talking to? Because everybody else is going to be a week ahead of you. So
Yeah. Or like an hour ahead of you, because you're
Right.
gonna, you watch one and be like, I'm waiting. I'm a week behind
Yeah.
everybody else. And it's no. All right. I think we've pounded the
We
negativity
beat that
long
dead
enough
horse.
there. Yeah. Okay. You want to move along?
All right.
All right.
Next up, I just think this is interesting.
Me
The
too.
Boys season 1 and 2 are coming to Blu-ray disc in May.
And I may
This
buy
is
it.
not a common, but this doesn't happen often with like streamer
Right.
exclusive shows. Like this is an Amazon Prime series. I'm sure most people are aware, but these things don't usually come to disc. So the fact that they're doing this is interesting and hopefully opens up some more opportunities for more things to come to disc.
Right.
You know, I would still love to own like The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 on 4K disc. You know, I'd like to buy Coda on 4K disc. You know, there's things that I'd buy Ted Lasso on 4K disc, you know.
I don't know about that.
But you know, again, the audience, the market for this is probably small, but I just think it's interesting that they're testing the waters with this show. So
I'll definitely be talking about this on my other show. Because I will be like, that's why I want to buy it. I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to get both seasons, because I'm like, I want to support that idea, because even though I did really like both seasons of this, but if the sales come out strong enough and other people see, and we get Mandalorian and we get other things like that, and for the majority of the people listening, I understand you don't really care about that little bit of extra quality.
Minority.
And I get that. But if you are somebody that cares about that little bit of extra quality and sound and picture, I think, you know, we've spent our money on worse things, and that's how you vote in this case. So, you know, that's what I'll be talking about it on my other podcast for sure. But I mean, we talked about this show, weekly. So I definitely.
The Boys? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Season 3 is coming out in the fall, right?
Yes.
So did it say when it's coming? Season
just says
2?
May.
May. All right, cool.
Yeah. No, these are coming out in May.
Yeah,
I'm not sure when season 3 is coming.
I thought it was in the fall. I thought it was like August or September or something like that. But the headline that I have says the Blu-ray is coming with blooper reels, deleted scenes, and Butcher, a short film. So
again, also things you don't get with your subscription to Amazon. So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Really, I am actually very excited for that. So
but me too.
We'll see. All right, next up.
Okay, Bill Skarsgård, who starred in It as Pennywise, has been tapped to star in the Crow reboot as the Crow. I'm assuming Eric Draven. I mean, I think in the comics there's a couple of versions, but I think it'll be Eric. So yeah, that's cool. Looking forward to that. As much as I am a Crow reboot, like I'm not convinced this is something that we need, because I think the original does the job very well. But
what if they went
this guy,
darker, like the comic?
So it'll just be black.
No. No, but I mean more violent.
Batman.
Yeah. Or you know what I mean? Like the comic was really gruesome.
It is very dark. Yeah, very violent. But
and what if they went in that direction? This one, the Brandon Lee Crow they leaned heavily on the love story. I mean, it was gruesome.
It was still dark. There was some
dark.
Yeah, definitely violence. But
But what if they actually go in a more adult, rated R version? I think The Crow was rated R anyways, wasn't it?
I believe so. Yes. I believe so.
I've seen it so many times, but I like you. I'm like, do we really need it? But if they find a way to do it in a different way and not just, copy of the first one, because there is room to be more faithful to the comic, I should say.
For sure.
So,
yeah, for sure.
So that would be cool. But we'll see. That's cool.
Yep.
I think he's a great cast. You know,
yeah,
a good
yeah. Like I
casting.
said, I think he's a good choice. So should be good.
Yeah.
And he's clearly comfortable in clown makeup. So
now let's just hope he survives it.
Yeah,
that's like a joke and not a joke.
I mean, yeah, I don't say it.
Yeah, but no, really, you reboot a movie somebody died on.
I know.
It's like that. I'm like, huh? I mean, geez, that's you're playing with fire. So, all right. Next up. Oh,
yeah. Next up. So, in an effort to boost subscriber numbers, Paramount Plus has put the pilot episode of Halo online for free. So you can
YouTube,
check it out on YouTube. Yep. The entire first episode is there for free for anybody. Again, there's no secret here. They're trying to get subscribers to Paramount Plus. But this is a great show. And, you know, it has a wide fan base. So I think this is a great idea to get people interested in this and, you know, get them on there.
Is there no free version of Paramount Plus?
I don't believe so. Because there's paid and then there's paid plus with the ad free, but I don't think you get any of it for free.
Okay.
Like you have to pay for it. So
right. Okay.
Unlike Peacock and some of the other ones where there is a free version out there. I don't think Paramount has it.
Yeah, because Joe just logged into Paramount Plus like a week or so ago. He wanted to watch something mobilely. And he's like, oh, what's our Paramount Plus password? And I couldn't find it because I have an app that I put everything in. It's actually a notes app that I put everything in. It has every single password and I, you know, alphabetizes it and all that, right? And I'm looking for it and I was like, where the hell is it? It's not under Paramount Plus because I've had it since CBS All Access. And it just rolled it, you know what I mean? So I didn't know, you know, but we did find it. But I have no idea what they're... I just got CBS All Access. I don't know if they've added anything, but I feel like they should.
Yeah, well, I started with CBS as well, but
yeah, I feel like they should though.
Right.
Everybody else has a free commercial version.
They should, yeah. But the problem is their low tier paid version is ad supported. Yeah. Right. So like I don't know what. I mean, to get to the free version, I don't know what they'd give you or what you'd lose because you're already getting ads.
Right. Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah. So
that's tough. You know what? I hate to say it. I'd almost say go to free and up the ad version.
Right.
The ad for, you know, charge more for free for no ads. And I don't know. And I'm the one paying for the ads.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm paying the premium package already.
I'm paying the premium, but I feel
don't necessarily want to pay more so other guys can get it for free.
Well, I don't mind in that case, but it's, yeah. Oh, well. That's why we're not, well, we're both, I say that's why we're not in business and we both have our own businesses.
Exactly. It's like,
whoops.
That's why we're not successful in business. Let's go back and rephrase that.
Go back to last week's episode and you'll know how my business is going.
Right.
All right. Next up.
All right. And then last but not least, Yellow Jackets star Ella Purnell has joined the cast of Amazon Prime's Fallout series. So that show looks like it's shaping up. I don't know her. I didn't watch Yellow Jackets, although it is on my list of shows because I heard it was great. But you know, the cast for this looks like it's filling out, and it should be a good show. I'm looking forward to it. So
yeah. All right, and that is it. That is it. We are moving on, John.
News. Yep.
We're moving on. That's it for breaking news. We are moving on to what did we spend our money on this week? Or last week.
All right. So for this week's checkout, I'm going to do something we've never done before. And I'm going to wrap these both up into one quick review. We read Immortal X-Men and X-Men Unlimited Latitude, both from Marvel, obviously. My summation of this is like, I have had way too much X-Men. I'm on X-Men overload, and I think I'm done with X-Men. Neither one of these books did anything to make me think differently. They were just not great. And I don't know where the X-Men are going anymore. Like they are no fun. Like these books are no fun. Like the Immortal X-Men was literally just them spending the entire book trying to vote to see who's going to replace Magneto on the Quiet Council. And then Mr. Sinister was in the background doing sinister things. And then X-Men Latitude was just literally Wolverine fighting AIM like for 60 pages. So,
the Immortal was basically Star Wars Episode 1.
Right.
Which we all loved.
Yeah.
Right. And then, the Wolverine one was, same thing. I just,
I don't know. Like, I just feel like I've had this pushed me over the X-Men edge. Like, I've just had enough of all of these X-Men books that are just really dull and not fun and not what I want out of the X-Men. And
remember
neither one of these books helped this.
Remember last week and or 2 weeks ago.
Well, you were talking about it like 2 weeks ago about
no, but fatigue. Remember we read Batman, Superman.
Yes, which is just fun.
It's just fun, right? We need somebody to get a hold of X-Men and do a little bit of reading from the 60s and the 70s and the fun that it was. Put them back in their blue and yellow and do the, which you did get. They're trying to do that here, but it's just so tedious. There's so much information, even though it's not white.
Lots of white pages. Well, there were a bunch of white pages.
There were white ones.
There was three of them in the Latitude
I took your
book
advice. Yeah.
That was just like computer code, and then the book ended with like 4 or 5 white pages in a row, which I didn't even bother with. But yeah, it's just like reading a textbook at this point. Like it's like you're learning, like you're in school and it was your assignment to read X-Men.
And you know what was funny is when we went through the event, we were all in on that. We're like, all right, we just got to learn this. I learned the alphabet at the time and we did all of that. And you got a white page and you were like, all right. And then like 6, 7, 10 weeks later, we're like, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I read, we all comic book fans, we all read too many books to have one book require this much information, this much concentration.
And these were both overly long. Both of these were like double-sized issues, and just felt like a slog to get through them.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I'm not going to go any more in depth on those. Instead, I'm going to talk about a couple of other books I read that were a lot more fun.
Well, could I, can I?
You can say whatever.
Thank you. I would like to promote my buddy Tom's book that he wrote. And this isn't a comic book, but it's a book. And it's called Touch of Pain. You can find it on Kindle. It's like $5.99, the cost of a comic book. And you can get it digitally on Amazon. And I happened to come across it on Twitter. He didn't reach out to me and say anything, but I started reading it, and it's like in the fantasy genre. I'm just at the beginning of it, but I think you would like it, John.
Okay.
And yeah, he's so Tom, he hosts AV Rant, and I've had him on my other podcast many times. Great guy, and he's a writer. He writes I can't remember what the other book is. He has another series that he writes, but this one here is more for the comic book fan. Really, it's a fantasy type genre, and I liked it. So far, like I said, I'm very early on in it. It's not my genre, but I was still enjoying reading it. I will admit, part of it is because it's his. Like if you wrote a book, I'd be like, let's read. But yeah, check it out. It's called Touch of Pain by Tom Andry and just check it out on Amazon. And
cool. So. Yeah, I'll take a look. I'm knee deep in Dune right now, but I'll put it on the watch list for when I'm done 6 months from now, because it'll take me forever to read Dune.
Yeah, but I'll give everybody updates as I'm reading along too. So yeah, but yeah, check that out. All right. And what else do you got there, buddy?
Well, I read Dark Ages #6.
Me too. The final
which was
one.
the final, the final issue of that, and that was just a lot of fun. Like
that was fun.
That was a great series. I loved I heard a couple of people complaining that they thought it felt a little rushed. I didn't think so. I mean, I thought the resolution was great. I liked the.
I could see what they're saying, though.
And like like when she put the force field inside.
Yes.
Apocalypse's head. And I thought that was pretty cool.
There was a line in there.
Yeah.
That I thought you would have liked. You must have heard. You must have.
Oh, I must have, but I don't know which one you're talking about.
What is it? Hang on. Did I photograph that one? But it was like not all post-apocalyptic stories are bad. Did you see that at the end?
Yeah,
it was one of the panels, and I was like, "Oh, John's gonna like that one." John's gonna like. Oh, I will say in the Wolverine book, there was one that I did. There was a panel that I did like in that one, the one we were just talking about, the one when he was inside the guy and he was carving him up, and AIM, right? He's inside carving.
The AIM guy,
And he said, "No, my copies of the original Star Wars, which are no longer available in stores."
MODOK, he was cutting up MODOK's memory files or whatever. Yeah, they're not available in stores anymore.
Stores or streaming.
That was awesome.
I thought that was great, which is like, it's funny because it's Marvel and Disney's own. I thought that was really cool. So
right, because it's Disney that's like purposely not putting those things out.
Right, exactly. So I thought that was really funny. So that was the one funny highlight, the one
bright spot.
Yeah, it's like, oh look, they're trying to be funny. So that's all I got to this week. Was sadly,
really,
those three, and I'm hoping this week. I got some rain coming the next few days.
Okay,
so I'm hoping to be able to get all caught up on all my books.
Well, just real quick, we don't have to talk long about him, but I read Ghost Rider #2, which I also really liked. Just kind of continuing on from the first issue. I really like where that book is going. And then Shadow War Alpha, which is the kickoff to the Batman event that's going to be coming up in, most of the Batman titles. This was actually pretty good too. I was skeptical going into this because I have a little bit of event fatigue as well, but this was kind of fun. It focused. This is actually a direct sequel to like the end of Robin #12 or whatever, like the last issue of Robin was. So it kind of picks up with again with Damian and Ra's and Talia, and it was pretty good. So I do recommend that, especially if you're reading Batman books, because you're going to be getting this story anyway. So you kind of want to get this because it kicks off, and kind of explains what's going on. So I definitely think you should pick that up. And that's it, really, for what I read. So
cool. Now I got more books to add to my list for the next 4 or 5 days.
There you go.
Movies to watch, books to read. Nice.
Tough life.
Yeah. Well, it actually is, because I had to do all my work today and yesterday. So for the week, try to anyways. But, all right. What do we got coming up next week?
We've got Alice Ever After, which is like a sequel to
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. It wasn't coming to me there. I wanted to say Through the Looking Glass, but
the same.
But thanks for the assist. And then
what I'm here for,
the Joneses. The Joneses issue #1, which is from AWA. So I'm always looking forward to the AWA and their new books.
The cover of this looks super interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's really about. It's kind of like keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested.
But they have the infinity symbol
AWA
on their chests. It's in the infinity symbol. The sidewards 8 is like in the logo on the cover. What does that mean? Like, you see that and it's like, what does that mean? Keeping up with, do they live forever and so you can't keep up with them? Right. And it's AWA, so very good chance it's going to be good.
Yep.
Better than X-Men.
Hope so. Yes, I think so. This there's more than a 0% chance that it'll be better than X-Men.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So can we show titled Touch of Pain?
Sure.
Can we do that? Touch of Pain by Tom Andry, and then people will be like, "What is that?" Cool.
Right. It'll give a little promotion. Plus, that'll help me remember the name of the book.
Yeah, you won't have to go back and listen to me.
I won't have to go back through the show because I was going to tell you to like text me the info.
Nope. I'm going to put it
so
right in the show title, John. Touch of Pain
go.
by Tom Andry. So there you go. All right. That'll do it for checkout. And now we are on to...
We are.
We're cooking along here.
Yeah, we are. Actually, we're going pretty quick. And like I said, I don't have a lot here in Real World. I did finish, finally, What We Do in the Shadows. We've talked about it a couple times, so there's no real reason to go into it again. But I finished all 3 seasons of that. I actually really enjoyed it. You know, my son recommended it to me. He said it's hysterical. Like, you know, he thought it was just a super funny show. I didn't find it that, like... I didn't find it hysterical to watch, but I did enjoy the story. Like, I enjoyed the show. I just didn't find myself, like, laughing out loud a lot, you know?
Right.
There's a few moments, obviously, in 3 seasons. There's going to be a couple of moments where you laugh, but it wasn't as funny as it was just entertaining. So I recommend to anybody that hasn't seen it. Of course... I don't know when we're going to talk about Moon Knight, but, you know, I watched Moon Knight.
Yeah, we could.
So, might as well
get
into it now.
Yeah. Right now.
Yeah, it's not a lot. I mean, it's not a lot to get into, even spoiler-wise yet, because it's only been 1 episode. But yeah, I really liked this. I like the direction that this is taking. I mean, anybody that's seen the trailers for this, you've seen a lot of the first episode already, you know, because it kind of just... goes into that, but I really liked the way they filmed his like lapses into his other personality, you know, because that was kind of unique and not something I expect. Right, it wasn't the way I expected them to do it. But yeah, for most of the show, like for anybody expecting a lot of action or to see Moon Knight in the episode, wait, you know, not till the very end. Really, there's a lot of. They allude to Moon Knight a lot because things are happening. You just don't see it because you're not, you're always just in Steven's perspective.
Right.
So
and
he's finding himself waking up in situations that he doesn't remember getting into, or, you know, like this one scene, again, not really spoilers, but this one scene where he snaps into his memory and then he looks down and there's like 7 or 8 beat up guys on the ground, you know, and it's like, you don't get to see any of that as the viewer, but I thought it was cool the way they did that. So,
well, here's the thing. And I thought this at the time. I watched it with Joe. I'll get to that in a second, but, it's cool now, but as long as we get to see it later.
Well, yes,
like
going forward, we definitely want to see.
I want to see some action because he.
Well, I think the fact that we got him a little bit at the end.
Yeah,
you know, I'm sure we'll get more Moon Knight going forward, but I do like the way they handled the setup of that. I thought Ethan Hawke's character was great.
Yeah.
You know, what's his name? Oscar Isaac did a great job with, you know, the whole.
I loved the voices, like
double personality thing. Yeah,
the accent he did in one, and then the 2 accents he did. I thought what was fun about watching it with Joe is Joe has 0 knowledge of Moon Knight.
Lydia as well.
Yeah, but I asked him, I'm like, by the end of it, I was like, do you understand like the multiple person? He goes, I do now, but it's like, I thought that was interesting, like how they. Like you said, it's like they did a really good job of laying it out that way in the first episode for people that might not even know that, but they did it in a creative way that it was entertaining too. Like you're like, what's going on here? And by the end, you're like, oh.
Yeah, Lydia was the same. She had no knowledge of any of that. And as we were watching it, she was kind of like, you know, does he not remember like what's going on? And then... But we didn't really talk, like I didn't stop the show and explain it to her. We just kept watching it. And then like the next night we were out to dinner and it was like, so did you understand what was going on? And, all, and she's like, yeah, I did. Like, by the end of it, she kind of figured it out. But,
right.
But yeah, it was a little confusing at first to people that had no real knowledge of the character or what was going on. It was a little hard to follow at first. So
yeah, looking forward to episode 2, which is dropping as we speak.
As we speak. Yep.
So
all right.
Yep. Go ahead.
All right. Next up, I started watching Dark, which is a show on Netflix.
Okay.
It's got 3 seasons. It's actually a German show. I've heard good things about this for a long time and just never gotten to it. I'm like 4 or maybe 5 episodes in. I will say, like, I am thoroughly engrossed in the story, but I have no idea what's happening. Like, it's one of those, it's like
That's
really
an
a
interesting
lot.
statement.
Well, there's a lot going on. You just don't really know. At the heart of it, it's a time travel show. They kind of tell you that right off the top.
Mm-hmm.
But there's people disappearing, and you as a viewer get to finally realize that they're being transported to different time periods. But to other people, they're just missing persons.
Yeah.
But so you're following all these different threads of story, and it's, like I said, it's very interesting. But it's really, it's not a show to watch while you're messing with your phone in one hand, and
right.
Like, you've really got to pay attention to it. The other thing I noticed is that it is dubbed into English. I watched the first 2 episodes in English. And then I realized that you only get Dolby Atmos on the German track for some reason. And
really, that's
it is absolutely worth reading the subtitles because the Atmos track is fantastic. And so I am doing the work and reading the show because I want to have that.
Yeah.
The people that don't care as much about it, you can definitely watch it in English. But yeah, I've watched the last 2 or 3 episodes in German with subtitles because I want the audio. Yeah, I don't know why that is. It's odd that that's set up that way, but I kept seeing Atmos in the information on Netflix when you go to turn the show on, but I wasn't getting it on when I was watching it.
Right.
And so like by the 3rd episode, I hit the Google machine because I'm like, why am I not getting Atmos on this? And somebody in the comments had mentioned that you only get it in the German track. So
yeah,
and that is the case because I'm getting it now, and it's like I said, it's
really
worth it. But yeah, it's like I said, it's a really good show, but just be prepared to like really be invested in it because it's little hard to follow. But so far so good. Like I said, I've got 3 seasons to go. And I was talking to my buddy Saturday when we were eating. And I was mentioned that, I was watching it. And he's like, oh, wait till he says, if you think it's confusing now, wait till you get to season 2. So I guess it like really gets deep.
When you get more information, you're even more confused.
Exactly. He's like, you're following these threads all over the place. And it's like, you don't know what's going on. I'm assuming by the end, it really they pull it all together because it's a highly rated show, so it must go somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely so far I'm liking that. And then this, but I got my projector set up.
Yeah.
I finally got my screen installed and all that on Sunday. And so of course I had to watch some movies. So first movie I watched, if you know us, is New Hope. Sat down and watched that start to finish.
How was it?
It was awesome. it was really good.
You've seen that one before, right?
I've seen it. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail about Star Wars, the 45-year-old movie, but it looked great. It sounded great. I watched the Disney release disc. I didn't watch my despecialized version, so I had the Atmos and 4K, and it was pretty awesome. And then I went and ate some crawfish, and then I came back and watched Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was the first time I had watched it since I bought the disc. And really the first time I've seen that movie in I haven't seen it in a while.
Isn't it spectacular?
So yeah, it looked great. Again, the Atmos, I think it had a better Atmos track than Star Wars did, honestly. And it looked really good. And again, I'm not going to go into the details of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Everybody knows, but I was just enjoying my 123-inch screen. And,
it's 123.
It's 123. Yeah.
In your living room,
which is massive on my living room wall.
In his living room, and he's still married. Everybody.
My wife said, "My God, that's huge," and I said, "That's the first time in 23 years you've said that to me." But it's a joke for the After Dark crowd.
Yeah,
but,
there you go.
Yeah. Other than that, that's really it. Watch some of the episodic TV. Again, I sent you pictures last night. I watched my first
soccer game,
football match. Yeah, on the projector, which was pretty awesome. I have to say, it was like they were kind of like life size. It was like I was there.
It's so funny when you sent me that one picture, and you're like, I go, how big is that? And I'm like, you were like, I think that's like the 120.
I thought it was pretty close. It was probably only about 80 inches. Yeah, it was probably only like 80 inches.
Because I was looking at it, I'm like, that must be a really big picture you had next to it. Because there's no frame of reference. It's like I said, It's like seeing a picture of Shaq on the beach all by himself.
Exactly.
You don't know he's a big guy. You got no reference, right? And then when you got to the real size, and I love that you're like, wow, that's huge. I was like, and you had you bought this thing and you never took out a tape measure.
Well, I did actually, like months and months ago. I had the tape measure out, and I was like, 60 high by 100 wide or whatever. And I was like, I got a little idea.
60 high. That's 5 feet.
I know. The screen is 60 inches high by 107 wide. But again, I did that months ago, and then time goes by, and I'm watching this projection on the wall, which looks huge, and I'm like, well, that must be close to 123 inches, and it wasn't anywhere near that. Like later that afternoon, I pulled the tape measure back out again. I was like, okay, we need to keep going and keep going and keep going.
Then you sent me the next picture, and the image was like over the picture that was off to the side.
Yeah,
it was like, you're gonna have to redecorate a little bit.
Even that was still a little bit short. Like by the time the whole thing got put up, it's so massive, but it's awesome. So
yeah.
I was like, what are we watching? Oh, we were watching Killing Eve last night, and I don't know. I know you're not caught up with it, but the older lady, Carolyn, who's kind of like the boss there. Mm-hmm. There was a close up on her, and I was like, but I'm looking into her pores. Like it's just like. I'm like, this is probably closer than we need to be on her face, but
How far away?
We're really not flattering.
I mean, your living room's a decent size.
It is. We're about 11 and a half feet, 12 feet, somewhere like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So it's a pretty good distance, but it's still,
huge.
Again, it's huge.
Huge.
So that's now like I'm just waiting to, I'm can't wait to sit down and watch Dune. No Time to Die. I have both of those discs. I haven't watched the movies yet because I knew the screen was coming. Of course, in a week I get No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Which I'm dying to watch. Yeah, so
that's fantastic.
But yeah, it's like kind of having what it is when you get new. Well, you're doing it with the Kaleidoscape now, but it's like everything's like brand new again. So you're watching everything like you've never seen it before.
Yep, so, that's part of that hobby. It's like we get that a little bit in comic books. Like, I love reading what are they called? The DC editions that I buy. Not the Ultimate.
Oh, the Absolute editions.
The Absolute editions. Same idea, really, because it's like oversized. Sorry, Dr. Joe. And the artwork it's either, what was the one that I just read recently that they redid like within the last probably four months.
Well, I know you read Long Halloween recently.
That's the one.
Or Hush.
Yeah. Hush was nice. It had the vibrant pages, had the glossy, nice stock, really nice looking. It's well done, oversized, so you can really take in the art, right? Well, Long Halloween was done with like the flat flat pages, just like the book was.
Right.
You know, it was a little drab, and
Right.
you know, it was looked really nice, but again, oversized, and you can really take in the art. And it was just, when you read the books that way, especially after having already read them, so you're not like, you don't have to read these books for like all the content, right? You can actually just sit there and enjoy it. And it's kind of the same thing as like getting a new projector or a new TV or something like that. So, and that's the thing. It made it, I mean, those are like $70, $80 a piece, those books.
Right.
Like a couple of them I got for, I think, $50 or $60, but, yeah, but Hush in that looks fantastic. Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful. But yeah, same idea in comics. So we get a little bit of that there.
Right.
You watch anything else?
No, like I said, I watched like Outlander. I watched some of my regular shows.
Okay.
But I didn't get to any other movies, and nothing new. It was just stuff I've already been watching for a while. So
okay. Let's see. I haven't seen Picard this week. I haven't seen the latest Picard.
Okay.
But I did catch Halo. Did you see Halo?
Yes.
The latest Halo.
Yeah, episode 2.
Episode 2.
Really good.
Really good. I really like what they're doing. Have you talked to any people that are like upset? I haven't heard anybody. I haven't talked to anybody that's upset about the helmet removal.
I have a couple of customers.
What do they say?
That are bothered by it. Just that it's not in the lore. Like he's in none of the games did he ever take his helmet off. None of them ever did. Like you never saw their faces. And this one, you saw all their faces. Even all his team had their helmets off. Like you said, it doesn't bother me or you really because we're not big into that story.
But I always thought the reason they didn't take the helmet off is because it's you. You're the one.
That's
you're
part of it, but there's
cut
scenes like there's cut scenes in other parts of that game where they could take them off, or even if the other Spartans took them off, you'd be looking at them.
True.
Yeah. But and I don't know if it's ever stated in the games specifically that they don't take them off for certain reasons, or if it's just the fact that they never did it,
right?
And people got used to it, Where again, like Mandalorian, there's a reason. Like they do say, look, we don't take our masks off, even though he did eventually,
and he did, right?
But in this game, they never really. I don't know if they ever did that or not. But yeah, a couple of customers that are big into the games were griping about it a little bit. I see people online, but I don't pay a lot of attention to Facebook comments. But there was a lot of people in the comments just really bagging on the show, talking about how they've ruined Halo and all that. And it's like, I don't know if we're watching the same. I don't know if we're watching the same show, but
because how did you ruin it? Because what you knew it as before was a game that you interacted with, and now they're giving you a story with backstory. They're giving you a history. They're giving you like feel like you're actually, they're actually, I think, I mean, I don't know the game. Like maybe they already had done that in the game, but I doubt it. But here you're getting his training and it's like all that extra stuff. Apparently it felt like after episode 2, like maybe he can reverse some of this stuff. The way they said that capsule in you and stuff. I also think that what's his name that's playing Master Sergeant? What's his name? I
don't know his name actually. I can't think of.
Yeah,
I don't know the actor from.
It's got to be fun to play him. I said that to Joe after we watched it. I'm like, this has got to be a lot of fun to play. It's like, what are we going for here? Well, we're going for almost robot,
right?
And the way he has like no feel, and I just. Really,
now, I have seen a couple people throwing that actor's name in the ring for Wolverine in the MCU, and I can kind of see that,
Yeah, he's a big guy.
I mean, he's a big guy, but he's got that look, kind of that scruffy look about him. Like, I think he could, maybe, I don't know if they're going to, but...
He's 6'3". I think
he's... See, which to me, that's too big. Like, we put up with it with...
right.
Hugh Jackman. Because it was Hugh Jackman and he did a good job. But, I mean, really, Wolverine should be like 5'6" or something.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, he's
So,
a little fire hydrant. Yeah.
right.
That's what he should be. He's, and what was fun, now you haven't seen the after show yet, right?
No, I still haven't.
Okay, so the first after show, they go into his workout and how he got so big to play that part. And what I thought was really funny, he goes, I was 6'3" and 145 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, that's me.
Lanky, tall.
Yeah, it's just tall and thin, right? And I was like, that's me. And he is jacked now. He's a big boy. So it's like I mean, the way the hardest part for anybody, like a person like that, it's you just have to eat. And you're
just say he's waking up every 2 hours to eat a whole boiled chicken. You know,
exactly.
Hugh Jackman talked about that. You know, it's like waking up in the middle of the night every hour to eat and stuff. It's like, you know, no, that's a dream for me.
Yeah, but you're not eating good though. But, you're eating that. Oh. You know,
I'm eating crawfish and drinking beer, but
who talked about it the best was the funniest was Ryan Reynolds on Blade 3 and all the extras. And he goes, I think I was eating sawdust. He's like, every 2 hours I get up in the middle of the night, have to eat a pound of sawdust and then go back to bed. And he's like, and I think the last scene they shot in that movie was, you know, the scene when he's chained up and the sun is coming in and killing the other,
which is like the most ripped you see him in the
whole
movie.
And it's like, well, when they cut that scene, I think I'm pretty sure that was in the extras, and he's all chained up and he is absolutely ripped, right? Yeah. He's like yelled out, he's like, get me a MF and cheeseburger.
Right.
It was so funny. He's hysterical. But all right. So Halo, really good. Endgame on Peacock, still really good. Enjoying that. Not on the same level as Halo. Halo's production is really good.
It is. Especially they've done a great job with that.
Really, really good. I love when they walk around the dunk, dunk, dunk. The bass. Really. It's much like The Expanse. The Expanse has the same situation because they have their magnetic boots. Right. Really enjoying Expanse season 3. It just, I mean, talk about ramping up. We're on Expanse. It's so good.
Right.
So good. Let's see what else. Voltron, Defender of the Universe on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Still. Every morning I feel like a little kid. So good.
Yeah.
Jen and I tried Pieces of Her on Netflix. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it, but I've
gone by it.
Like I've watched the trailers for it. I've gone by it. Tony Collette, right?
I think so. Yeah.
From
I'm not weird. We're both skeptical on moving on to episode 2. We did episode 1, and it was just like, I think we're gonna do episode 2, and then maybe I'll report back on that. But it just, it's hard to explain. Like, it almost doesn't make sense, like why everything's happening. And then at the end of the episode, you're like, kind of like when you read a comic book and you're like, that really didn't get me to episode 2. Right. And it's like, and there's too many holes in it. Yeah. Oh, well. I don't know. Jen I think she read it. Maybe she read it. That's what it was.
Oh, really?
She read it and she was telling me what was really going on. And I'm like, if you weren't here, would we be moving? And that's why she's kind of like, she's already seen it and or she's read it. So I'm like, I'm intrigued by what she's telling me, but the story itself.
Well, but maybe episode 2, maybe they get more explanation in the next episode, you know?
We'll see. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. So then going into movies this week, I did, like you, watched A New Hope again.
Oh yeah.
I'm just really, really enjoying it. It's, like I've never seen it before, heard it that way. But
didn't you watch it? You watched it already on Kaleidoscape, so you watched it a second time?
Oh, that's probably my third or fourth.
On Kaleidoscape?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's just, it's one of those things. It's like, I'm so addicted to the damn thing. It's like, I'll come down and I'll just put it on and I'll not just I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the whole system. And I'll be like, I just want to go play with it. And then I'll put Star Wars on and then the theme plays at the beginning and I'm going, all right, I'll just go to the opening, the lightsaber. No, well, they're going to, here we go. They're going to be trying to escape. And
next thing you know, you're watching.
Next thing you know, I'm like listening for the echoes when they swing across, Leia and Luke. And I'm like, well, they're just going to go destroy the Death Star now. So I might as well just stay for that. And you're listening for and seeing all different, anyways. Born Identity finished really good. The sound in that was really good. It's the way... What I thought was interesting, I saw some chase scenes. I can't remember what the other movie was that I saw recently that had a chase scene. I don't know if I wrote it here. But anyways, the Born Identity chase scenes, it's the music, right? So like when he's, that's one of the epic chase scenes. He's in like, it wasn't a Mini, but it was something like that, like a little Fiat
it's
or whatever,
little
right?
Yugo or something.
Yeah. But they're going through all these little roads, but it was the music moving around the room. And it's like, going around you like counterclockwise, but you're paying attention to that, and it kind of gives you that sense of like you're kind of like all like rattled because it's the notes, the bass drums and stuff, they go and they're going around. It really, really evident, really cool.
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home, watch that one again. Finished Iron Man, Black Panther. Really, that was a lot of fun. Looked really, really good. Like I said, The Expanse season 3, still doing that. And finally, I'd like to wrap up with, we started the show with a little bit of a negative. So I saw Moonfall.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So everybody, just skip it. Just skip it.
Yeah.
If you don't have a home theater,
unless you're a home theater guy, because I heard it's awesome.
It is awesome for home theater.
Yeah.
It is awesome for home theater. But you remember when I did Hurricane Heist and I sent you a copy?
Yeah.
I'm like,
you're not going to be said to me Moonfall.
No, I would not want you to. I honestly, I want you to see it because I think you'll be like, I mean, if I'm saying this,
right.
I like Halle Berry. It's just, oh man, there were just too many. You're like, all right. You got to leave your whole head outside the door to enjoy this movie, not just your brain. It was tough, really tough. Look, spoiler, it's called Moonfall, right? The moon goes out of orbit.
Right.
It literally scrapes the planet Earth.
Oh, jeez.
Come on. Come on. and they I know spoilers, but they literally come off of the moon onto planet Earth.
Oh, really?
The characters.
Like they jump off the moon?
Not jump. They use their ship, but it's just like, oh, it's right there. We'll go and land right there. And you're like, burn. They just like you flew a Cessna. But you're like, oh my God. It's like, it was just, I'm like, there are better ways to have great surround sound and a great picture.
Right. I'll go watch Tomorrow War again or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But it's a great, it's a very interesting take on HDR, like the way they utilized it, which I think he used it that way to hide all the CGI. But the surround sound is amazing. But you can get that in so many other ways.
So many movies.
And I love Roland Emmerich. I absolutely do. And I bought the movie. I own the movie. I'll probably watch it again, but not anytime soon. But yeah, it's a tough movie. It's I think it would be more fun like if you and I were together, have a couple of beers and we would just be like, oh my God.
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, that's what it would be. It's like, that's when it's like, I've never done drugs, but this may be one that I would.
I could bring some chocolate up.
I know. I'd be like,
well, actually, I don't have to bring it up. You can get it anywhere there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yep. So, but that was it for me. that was it. And I really, you know me, I really wanted to like that movie.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I tweeted about it. I was like, I just bought it. Can't wait to watch it. Like days later.
I watched it.
People were like, did you see Moonfall? Yep.
Yep.
My mom always said, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say it at all.
Right. Yes, I did. That's it.
Yes, I did. Do you, can I get a refund?
No comment.
Yeah. No. Yep. So, all right. That will do it for checkout, correct? Or Real World. We
Real
already
World,
did
yep.
checkout. See that? Huh?
We
So that
did.
will do it for checkout. And that does it for Real World.
It
And that wraps up our show. Because we can wrap up on this. We did not see Morbius yet.
Not yet.
Not
No.
yet. That is on my list in the next couple of days of rain. I am going to be checking out Morbius. How about yourself? Do you think you'll see it by next week?
I'm not sure. Like, we are definitely going to see it. I'm in no big hurry to see it. We're really booked up on Thursday, so if we see it at all, it'll probably be Sunday.
Now, are you booked up with chores and errands to run, or is it the new screen in your living room that you're booked up to?
Well, yeah, no, couple of different doctor's appointments.
Oh, okay.
And some
You
things.
didn't have to get into the nitty gritty. I just didn't know if you were like,
no, we're booked up. Yeah, booked up with
Right.
things to do.
okay.
It's
It's how long
we may
is
see
it? it
Sunday.
Isn't it only like an hour and a half?
Hour 40, something like that. It's less than 2 hours.
yeah.
I heard it's like an hour 40 minutes or so. So it's not so much that it's just like I said, getting out to see it.
Getting out
And
to see
you
it.
know, I will see it, but you know, I'm in no big hurry based on the the reviews and the comments that it's getting. Although I have had a couple people come into the store and say, "Look, it's not as bad as
everything
what
you're
people
hearing.
are saying." Yeah,
Yeah.
as everything you're hearing, you know. But then I've had other people say it's complete trash. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's too bad. I've read a couple of decent reviews about it. Not like saying
Yeah.
it's great, but the same idea. I found that a little bit encouraging.
Right.
I've also heard that maybe we would, if we're lucky enough, we could get a different version on disc, because
Oh yeah.
people have said that there are pieces there for a good movie, but it looks like
Right.
they edited the crap out of it. Like
That's what I heard.
typically
Eddie said
happens.
that on the Ralph Report too.
Oh, yeah,
That,
that's
you
right.
know,
Yeah, he did.
He was saying that, you know, that maybe it was edited poorly.
Yeah. And that's tough
so
when
we'll
he
see,
doesn't like
but,
it, because
like-
he's like me. He likes almost
Exactly.
everything Marvel puts out.
And hearing that people liked Venom 2 more, like, doesn't do a lot to bolster
'cause
my
I-
confidence.
yeah, I
because
wasn't a big
thought Venom
fan.
2 was garbage. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
like it at all.
I didn't
so.
like it that much either. I think you liked
Yeah.
Venom 2 more than I did.
I didn't complain about it as much as you did, but I don't think either one of us thought it was very good.
Right, right. Yeah, it's
And based on like the fact that we both enjoyed the first one, I think that set higher
Yes.
expectations.
yeah.
Because I didn't go into those movies with high expectations to start with, but you know, the first one surprised me, so I was waiting to be surprised by the second one.
Yeah.
And it unfortunately didn't happen.
Yeah, that was, I mean, just saying Venom 2, I get that scene in my head where he's fighting, he's got the car up in the air, and I'm like, that was
Yeah.
just so bad looking, and I was like, this is
Right.
not necessary. It's like,
Yeah.
ugh, it's like Moonfall.
Yeah.
But I'm actually, see, it'll have to be really bad to be worse than Venom 2, because like you said, Venom 2, we had a set of expectations off the first one. Morbius to me is like, it's the first one. So I give it a
Right.
little bit more leeway than I would Venom 2. So it would have to be really bad for me to be like, wow, I don't ever want another one. We may never get
But see,
another Morbius.
I thought the trailers for Morbius made it look good, though. You know what I mean?
that's
Like, I
the
was
goal of
encouraged
a
by the
trailer.
well, I know, but I mean, I was encouraged by the trailer that, you know,
Right.
because I initially had low expectations for that too. And then the trailers were like, okay, this looks pretty good. And then, you know, it came out and we started hearing that, you know, it was not good. So we'll
Yeah.
see. But like I said, I try not to prejudge anything based on other people's reviews or opinions of it. But you know, if everybody says it's garbage, there's got to be something to it.
Yeah,
you know?
there's got to be something there. Where there's smoke, there's
Yeah.
fire. And it's like sometimes,
Exactly.
you know, sometimes people just go negative and it's not so bad. Like Aquaman,
Right.
that's one to me that I enjoy Aquaman.
Yeah, I like Aquaman quite a bit, actually.
And I
thought
I
that
heard
was
a
really
lot
good.
of reviews about that. And I'm like, I thought Aquaman was fairly faithful to the comic. I thought,
Yeah.
I heard people complaining about it and it was like, no, that's actually right out of the comic.
I was going to say, do you read the comics?
Yeah,
Because
exactly. I'm like,
yeah.
okay. They can't all be the Batman, which was fantastic. They can't all be that.
Right.
And not everything is that, but I don't know. But I'm looking forward to going to the theater and seeing it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully. All right. That will do it for this week. You got anything else, John?
All right. Nope.
All righty. That will do it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Hey, we don't say this often, and maybe somebody did recently because I haven't checked, but if you go on iTunes, you could rate, review, subscribe if you're not already. I know, pretty much I think everybody is subscribed already. It's kind of funny when people listen
in the world or just
that are listening. We do these 2-hour long shows, and if you're still listening when we're asking you to subscribe,
you probably have already.
And it's like, doing a commercial for yourself.
Just like every comic is somebody's first comic, every episode of this is somebody's first episode. So
right.
Maybe they're not subscribed yet.
Maybe.
So.
And we just reminded them you should subscribe. And for everybody else, tell a friend.
Yeah.
Tell a friend about us. That would be great. Because,
tell them to skip last week's episode.
If we get more popular, just more people to make fun of us when we do shows like last week. Okay.
I say, God forbid, last week was somebody's first episode because it was probably their last.
Yep. So, all right. That'll do it for this week. You can reach us at brightside_chat, or you can reach John at Arkham Comics. That's how to talk to the ether. Have a great week, everybody. John is trucking.
Take care, everyone. Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
Hey, Fred.